you are there with us on this interesting episode of your program, Business and Economy. I am Ile Emeje, your host. There is no doubt that Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa, and as a market, the existence of free trade agreement makes it a choice destination for other countries of the continent. While acknowledging that this would make Nigeria business environment more attractive for foreign investments, some stakeholders say infrastructural deficit may hinder the realization of the full benefits. Today on this episode, the President, Nigeria Entrepreneurs Forum, Dr. Sidney Inegbediam, will shed more light on how Nigeria can effectively maximize the benefits from the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. Stay with us. According to the current global economic projection for year 2021, the World Bank says growth rate in emerging markets and developing economies, including Nigeria, is envisioned to firm to 5% in 2021, noting that risk will remain as economic activity and incomes were likely to stay low for an extended period. The report indicated that although the pandemic was likely to steepen the long-expected slowdown in potential growth over the decade, the global economic output is expected to expand by 4% in 2021. Meanwhile, recent report released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has shown that importation of manufactured goods increased significantly in the third quarter of 2020, highlighting on border closure and foreign exchange scarcity as a factor. The NBS stated that manufactured goods import increased in value by 23.18% in the third quarter of 2020 compared to the 23.47% on year-on-year basis. On his part, Director General, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Segun Ajayi Kadri, acknowledged the disruption caused by COVID-19 lockdown and the problem of insecurity limited food production across the country, impacting negatively on the manufacturing sector, leading to several challenges of growth performance. He further expressed optimism that the border reopening will stimulate the manufacturing sector in the near to medium terms. Ile. Welcome. Our guest is the President, Nigeria Entrepreneurs Forum, Dr. Sidney Inegbediam, and is here to discuss on effective maximization of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement in the country. Doctor, you are welcome to the program.
I'm glad to be here with you again.
All right, thank you for being here. Doctor, as we speak, the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement has begun, going by the schedule of the federal government and the various countries that are involved. However, development experts have argued that lack of sufficient knowledge stands between small businesses and the numerous benefits to be derived from the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. How can we bridge this knowledge gap?
Well, after came into effect on January 1st, 2021. And before this time, the federal government, through the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, had already set up a National Action Committee on AFTA. So for some stakeholders, the preparation for it has been on. And for small businesses, not much about AFTA was known to them. The reason for that being the fact that AFTA up to this point had been largely based on negotiations.
Okay.
And when countries are negotiating, usually they like to come to the end before they roll out their plans. Okay. So this is the time now for Nigeria government to roll out the awareness campaigns, engagement of relevant stakeholders for Nigeria effective participation in AFTA. And that process has begun. I know about a month now.
A month ago?
About a month ago. the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment had an inaugural lectures and presentations to its staff. We selected stakeholders, getting them to be prepared for today. Now that it has come, in terms of the awareness that needs to be created, a lot of institutions have also started. Apart from the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and the Action Committee on AFTA doing their own, most state governments have started. I know yesterday Edo State Governor was rolling out the preparedness of Edo State.
Okay, his plans for the
his plans for the implementation phases. And I think the government also is making efforts to reach strategic stakeholders. Who are these strategic stakeholders? The chambers of commerce, the trade associations, the financial institutions.
Across states of the Federation?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know there is a plan by the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to roll out its own engagement with strategic stakeholders. And as I mentioned, the primary strategic stakeholder are the business community. So the chambers of commerce, trade associations will all be involved. Then the financial institutions. The central bank itself will be preparing its own people, because the financial institution is very, very strategic to the effectiveness of Nigeria in this trade. In terms of extending credit facilities to potential exporters, productive equipment, imports and everything for local manufacturers to be able to enhance their orders and things like that. So this process is on.
Okay, is it because of the knowledge gap that some stakeholders have decried? They came out up to say that AFTA have not started in the real sense.
Well, in the real sense, what has started is meeting the requirements for the takeoff of AFTA. Okay. Like I said, AFTA started on the 1st of January 2021. That is a few days ago.
Yes.
That date is symbolic in the sense that it is the day that the continental headquarters of AFTA opens formally in Ghana. It is the day that set aside for those countries that have not submitted their ratification documents be tendered. It is the day that some countries would want to open up like Nigeria, we opened up a few days to the time we had selected borders open. You know, all the while our borders have been closed. It is so a lot of things happened on that day. But now that it has happened, there is funds from the headquarters. The Nigerian National Action Committee on AFTA is formally an institution. So activities, therefore, kicks off from this moment. And the first phase is this awareness creation you are talking about. There has to be sensitization of businesses, and information will be sent out. And this program you are doing today is also part of that process, because as we are talking now, many people are listening. And so they are now beginning to also know that there is something like AFTA and that they have to engage in it through their businesses or through their services or whatever mechanisms they like to use to be part of the AFTA.
Recall that the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement has been identified as the largest trade agreement after the World Trade Organization. And it has been projected to open up a $3.4 trillion, an opportunity of $3.4 trillion for the people, that is for the member countries, including Nigeria. Will it be correct to say that any member country can engage in production services in any country considered to be business friendly? For example, will it be right for me to say maybe somebody in Ghana can come to Nigeria if he or she finds Nigeria as a business or a conducive business-friendly environment to come to Nigeria to produce or manufacture and begin to re-export the products back to any country of his or her choice?
Well, but that is the essence of AFTA. The opening up of the continent is just about that.
Country A can visit.
Yeah, you have. If you have that,
B.
as part of investment, what you are talking about, falls into the investment protocol. If you have enough money, and you feel that there is big market for you, let's say in Zimbabwe, let's say in Botswana, or let's say Ghana, you have the right to invest in those countries. Then the area where they have problem has to be issues involving exportation of goods. That is, if you are producing in Nigeria and you want to export to, let's say, Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso has the right to ensure that your product is actually being made in the member country. It's being produced in the member country like Nigeria. The reason for that is to prevent unfair trade practices. Such as foreign countries coming into your country, setting up manufacturing bases, and using your country as the export process for a targeted country. You see, Nigeria was one of those countries that did not sign the agreement on time. The reason for that was that Nigeria wanted to do enough research to see whether many of these countries, like China, Europeans, and most of these countries, will want to target Nigeria for dumping purposes. What that means is that they could come in and set up, let's say, a factory in Togo.
Is it in form of foreign direct investment?
Yeah, sometimes it is direct investment, but sometimes it is not so much because we are targeting a country whose capacity to produce is low and whose market is large, like the case of Nigeria. Our market is the biggest in Africa.
No, we have the market.
And so the tendency for some foreign companies, none other than African companies, to be able to bring their capital, pretend to be investors in Togo, targeting Nigeria. There are a lot of problems there because Nigeria will want to find out, one, whether the company is producing has a dumpy tendency in mind. These have been part of the problems in AFTA. So, but there's, under the fair trade mechanisms, countries are to bring issues of origin.
Yeah.
So, if Nigeria is producing and you are sending it to Ghana, for example, Ghana, trying to protect their economy, has the right to ask whether that product is a product of Nigerian origin. I hope you understand what
Nigerian origin.
Nigerian origin. And so, if it is, then of course, it is allowed because they allowed up to 90%.
Of products that
of your
have
product,
the
yes,
origin
of your origin of a country.
Okay.
So long as the host country does not object to that particular product.
Okay.
So part of this commencement of the AFTA require that most countries submit some of their products that they really want to use based on the rule of origin principle.
Okay.
And so it is not that every country will be free to do whatever they want to do because the state actors are given certain privileges to also protect their domestic economies.
Okay. Looking at the whole of this AFTA arrangement and the trade agreement, small and medium enterprises, that is the micro, small and medium enterprise, they have a very serious role to play in the whole of the arrangement. For the benefit of our viewers and our listeners now, how can a smallholder company or somebody who are just beginning or venturing into small business, how can we take share of this agreement?
Well, the African Continental Free Trade area is for the MSMEs. Why do I say so? 80% of African-owned businesses are classified under MSME because they've not really had the capital base to do what we call business. And so what it means is that the opportunity is now opened up for them. And it's now left to them to be able to take advantage of the huge market. How do they do that? They have to learn about international trade.
Okay.
International trade itself is a very wide area in terms of if you want to choose the process of export from any other African country to this country, or you want to get Nigerian products to other countries. Or if you feel you are a professional, you want to export your services to other countries. There are processes of doing this. So, or if you want to embark on joint venture, that is about 10 or 5 small companies bringing themselves together.
Let's say Gari processors, maybe Gari processing company. Those are making Gari in Nigeria, and they take part in this.
Yes, certainly, because if you are making Gari and you say you discover that Egyptians are eating Gari, and that the orders coming out of Egypt is so enormous, you as a small business don't have the capacity to meet the order. One, the advantage to you is that you already have the order. You have seen the market. Your research shows that Egyptians are eating Gari. You have the power. This is where the opportunities come to you now, to put together, assemble a group of people to enhance your productive base. This is where the banks come in. For you to be able to go to the bank to say, I have an order of so much tons of Gari from Egypt. I need money to expand my productive base. Cumulatively, your business grows. And another way small businesses can benefit MSME is that you have to be part of the regional or continental value chain. What do I mean by that? Let's say Nigerian breweries. You've discovered that Star Lager beer has now become a major interest to South Africans. And there is no Star Lager beer in South Africa. And you, as a micro business, have been able to find out that there is this huge potential. So you can approach Nigerian breweries in Nigeria and secure a franchise from them that they should give you the powers to market Star Lager beer in South Africa. You don't have the resources, but Nigerian breweries does. So you find that you're able to get a Nigerian product to South Africa, and you're able to make a whole lot of money by being able to just do basic research and being able to approach this. So MSMEs can benefit by participating in these value chain processes.
Okay. We take a short break now and we'll be right back. Please stay with us. Thanks for being with us. Dr. Sir, there is this growing concern expressed by stakeholders on the issue of logistics across the African continent, saying that the ability of the SMEs to fully participate is in doubt. For example, the issue of transportation. If I am a Gari processor in Nigeria and I have the need to export my Gari to Ghana, a lot of stakeholders are bothered about the issue of logistics. How do you react to this?
Well, issue of logistics and transportation has to do with infrastructure. African Continental Free Trade Area does recognize that as part of strengthening AfTA, on the medium and long term, that certain infrastructures need to be put in place.
Okay.
In the area of development of continental road network, in the area of provision of energy, which you really need. And but that's not to say that MSMEs cannot participate because of transportation. In Nigeria, for example, we have been blessed in the sense that we are conveniently located in the Gulf of Guinea. And through the Gulf of Guinea, we are able to ship. Our maritime transportation is very, very strong. Beside that, the AfTA recognizes that the role of regional economic communities should continue to play its part. Because, for example, in the case of West Africa, since you mentioned Ghana, we are under the ECOWAS as a regional economic development community over the years. We've had roads that are clearly delineated as continental roads. That you can travel from Nigeria, connecting to Benin, to Togo, to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, down up to Sierra Leone. You know, so you can take advantage of this. Then you can take advantage of air transportation. Incidentally, Nigeria has had a lot of airlines, you know, that have not done very well. The AfTA now provides them the opportunity to be able to either convert their passenger aircraft to cargo aircraft, to be able to move most of these goods within the African continent, you know. And so the road network is not be too bad in the sense that if you follow the role the regional economic communities will play, and these different regional communities are bound in Africa. You have in West Africa you have ECOWAS. In East Africa you have East Africa community. In Southern Africa you have Southern Africa development communities, and these are all regional groupings
with network of
roads. With network of roads.
Okay.
And so you have to, for now, link up with these opportunities. But on the long term, the AfTA Secretariat does have what they call action plan. The action plan is to look into issues involving infrastructure development, like road network and things like that.
Okay, let's just take a look. Because of our time, let's quickly take a look on the level of competition. Recall that this will involve a lot of competition between member countries. How do you think that Nigeria can raise the quality of its products and services to meet up with competition in the AfTA, that's African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement?
Well, the issue of competition is part of the advantages of AfTA, in the sense that because you now have larger markets, because you now have competitors, naturally you must want to meet the standard of your competitor. Of course,
even take the lion's share of the market.
And so it is opportunity for us to strengthen our the quality of our products
and services,
our technology, and our innovation. And in this area, Nigeria is doing very well because our youth are very, very good in innovativeness and in ICT issues. But in terms of the physical production of goods, products, we've had some limitations because of our epileptic power system. The fact that institutions like Ajaokuta Steel, which you really need now, has to be revisited. Okay. Because when you talk really about production, you are talking about all this manufacturing equipment, small-scale equipment, and for processing and a whole lot of things. Nigerians have been doing very well because when you talk about garri just now, what Nigerians are using are locally fabricated machineries. After ANA gives opportunity for those companies assembling them and fabricating them to be able to produce more, so that we can ship for utilization in other less developed African countries.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, as we round off, who are the eligible people, the participants, and what do you think the government can do in this area to encourage or to stimulate the productivity level in the country?
Well, when we are talking about global trade, everybody is a participant.
Okay.
It depends on your interest. Your interest in the sense that because Nigeria had a very large economy and population, our businesses are focused more, and because they have the market here. Now that it is larger, it means they now have to heighten their own interest. And for the very small ones, exporting is the best way of all over the world.
Okay.
Records show that you make money 4 times whatever you make in one country. So if you are making 100 million naira in Nigeria now, when you get into exporting, multiply that by 4.
If you are making 50,000 a month.
If you are making 50,000 naira a month and you have lion heart, because so the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is not for chicken livered people. It is for people that have heart, people that want to expand beyond their immediate environment. And so that is the first step, that you must broaden your heart, you must be willing to go beyond your shores, and you must be willing to go there and conquer. And that's what Nigerians are interested in now. That is why we are saying that the university system should now have to incorporate training programs for international trade. Okay. That institutions must now start learning, teaching foreign languages like French, Dutch, and all, because we are Anglophone nation. But most of the countries in Africa,
now we are going to be trading with,
and we are going to be trading with, they are all French,
Francophone
countries. So we must of necessity look at these opportunities. So if you decide, recognizing this opportunity and decide to set up a school teaching Nigerians within Nigeria how to speak French and write French, you are part of the value chain. Okay. If you decide to live here and maybe you go to Cote d'Ivoire and be teaching them English so that they be able to engage with Nigeria effectively, you are part of the value chain. Okay. So the opportunities abound. It depends on the way you look at it and your vision. Okay.
The opportunities are bound. It depends on the way you look at your vision, your mission, and what you want to get from the standard of living that has been produced by the government of Nigeria. You can be part of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. We have been discussing with the president of the Nigeria Entrepreneurs Forum, Dr. Inegbedion. Thank you for coming on the program, sir.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right. It is hopeful that the commencement of the African Continental Free Trade Area will efficiently stimulate the general economy of the continent for an improved gross domestic product. Once again, we appreciate you for being with us on the program. Always remember to take personal responsibility against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic to enjoy a safe economy. Have a wonderful weekend.